All right. All right then. Here we are. And oh, what's this? This means we are going on the run. All right then. Well, this show will go on for what we do best here. So let's do this. And here we go, folks. So, now last time on Total Drama World Tour Simulator is that we had some mechanical difficulties with the plane falling down and did hit the ground in Jamaica Island and had to wait for a long dang time before we would be back on the plane as we can. And so far, we just got some, and I mean lots of money. So, by any chance right now, that helped us to keep the show, to keep it alive and going for the show. And thanks, A. Why, thank you, and thank you very much. So, for everyone to do the part with the money, that was going to be on the second aftermath show. That was Duncan Gaming and Jeff and Bridget to host the show while things went good for a bit. And okay, over there. So, anyways, the good thing is that we are good to go. And as in for who was out this time was Izzy due to by an injury on her head and was gone. And as in the same thing that Owen took a big critical hit on the plane exactly while the plane was in damage, which was going to be a lot of fortunate repairs of the money, how that was going to take for the plane's damage thing. Now, as in for Owen, he took the time to heal him up, and of course that he got back to the game, which means he was going to be a little bit more just to be less damaged. So, right now, back at the plane before it was damaged, that looks like it healed up his head after the docs were healing his head as well before the plane crashed. And as in for a goodbye, that Alejandro had indeed backstabbed Adam in the back and got to send him home. And sadly, Alejandro got to Sadie first to vote him off, which was not good. So, that pretty much was not looking good for Adam. That was a move that Adam did not saw coming to him. Now, then wonder who might get a vote out time to lose more. Another teammate being done and out right now. So, especially that was pretty insane to see how all that was going on out there, which unfortunately that is pretty insane. As myself as a host, that is pretty wild that Alejandro just got Sadie to vote out Adam on his own team. Yeesh. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy the show here, right now, on Total Drama World Tour Simulator. Anyway, so the flying of the plane appears at to be at night at midnight, whatever exactly that appears at nighttime at somewhere while everyone is in the plane. So in the plane, and all of the teams get to be back in the plane for all of the plane, while me and Chef are in first class department. Meanwhile, with everyone in the back of the plane. And so far, as in for pretty much was going on by all the teams, that were 6 teams, remains to still be left on the show. That looks like Harold and Sierra and Sally were talking, except that Sierra was giving like a few explanations to know what I was doing, and so was Chef for pretty much today's special guest. And as so far as for everyone else, they get to pretty much wonder to know what they're going to do afterwards while they get to be heading to another place, which will be our next destination to be landing. And then as in for everyone else, looks like they're all pretty much talking what they're talking about. And as in for Gobblistic Girl, she was almost revealing a little bit of detail of why she did not want to be in the sun. because due to her goth makeup, that pretty much remains to stay in the game for as long as about goth listed girl's true identity of still remaining to be in the show. And then, as in for what was going on, it looks like Courtney was feeling a bit worried after pretty much likely that pretty much that she was still missing to see him exactly before he ever does return back. Which, like I said, it's just now going to be this time that somebody is going to find the criminal, which that's going to be impossible to find. Even like I said, that'll be completely possible. So anyways, you guys can still take a look ahead while I keep scrolling on down and see what all this continues ahead. It looks like Katie waves back at Sadie, and Sadie waves back at Katie. And now then, looks like as in for Justin and Trent and Josh, the three of them were having an idea to see how they were going to stay in the show for long without being eliminated, constantly, not to be eliminated. And then as in for Alejandro, he was pretty much likely to leave and then went somewhere else to find me or Chef. Anyways, meanwhile, we're back with me. So, Chef, by the way, hopefully this will make things even way too good. He is a knockout takes on out. And as long that legal says we're in the clear zone to have him on the loose. Damn, that's going to be crazy days. To see this on the action for mostly the 16s here left. Like imagine the ratings going up and hits that we will get to for the best of it along the on the way online. Hey, chef, did you heard something? Yep, I did hear something coming from that door. And it looks like Alejandro screamed, and then of course the unknown got him anyway, and then just put him out the game. Hey guys, just want to let you all know is that we are not going to be able to land. So guess the only thing you got to do now is jump. Sorry. And as in for you guys, we'll have some lucky parachutes that is very helpful, like it's going to be singles and doubles will be allowed while being on the parachutes. And if I were you right now, then I would start jumping off the plane now. Thank you. Good luck to everyone else for avoid the crash landings near the ground. And whoever got hit badly, then you're out of the game. And yes, you will be safe until your team is not in last place. And for if not, then you will get the rest of the get a rest for the whole game or season. That works with me or Chris. So say the rest. Chef's right. For the last part is that you're going to be safe or not safe to stay in the game, which is fine. Anyways, now go and get a parachute. As in for everyone else gets a parachute and everyone takes a big dive on the jump while everyone was doing that. Alright, so anyways, meanwhile back on the bus, which everybody did made it without a crash, or hit the ground either. Okay everyone, time to get on the bus. So, anyways, gun it chef. So, for this is the place, is to be called as known to be the great victorious London. And in the place where everybody gets to enjoy the things to like London, like having a London accents around from its times and the homes of its crazy and whacked stuff like the Big Ben and the London Eye, and then with the French fries. That sounds like nice and cool, so anybody can get a bite to eat after this challenge is over. And it's in fact the home of Scotland Yard, in the world of the biggest crime busting outfits, too. And well, the thing of the news to let you guys know is that most of you will see who can catch something that will be roaming around in London. Not only that the Scotland Yard can't crack by one case, to be is Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper. Everyone was gassed about Jack the Ripper. Now, here's a little story for everybody's listening ears, so everybody has their ears open to understand about Jack the Ripper. So, as you can see, understand that Jack the Ripper is clearly a wacko serial killer who went after and scared the heck and hell of London and terrorized it by the time he left for good. But no, he's somewhere hidden away and will get to be around. And that's where you guys come in to take Jack the Ripper down. And be careful, is that he will be hunting you down by one without a single track down. And it will mean that you're out of the game until the very end. If you win for your team, and just in fact, there is a Colonel too that will be catched as well, that is in London too, that will be found as well. And capture two of them, and you will be safe in the game. And if not, then you're done, which means you get 2 bags, or nearly about like 5 happen each. And sadly for me to say it, is that No Fear Savages are short-handed. That leaves Sadie. And to not be lucky, so if Sadie does not get caught by Jack the Ripper, then call it to be a good thing, which means he'll probably be a bit of a target. And we will make a pit stop to London Tower, is the stop that we will be doing next. So, anyways, hope you guys get settled in your seats while we get to head to London Tower. So it will take some time while we get there. Anyways, continue driving, Chef. Alright, I'll be sure to continue driving this bus. An insane fact, I never even drove this bus before. Well, what do you expect? It's just the London bus that we've never got to do anywhere in the show. But anyways, yep, the location of this name where right now is London, that we're doing these challenges here. Which, like I said, thanks a lot to finally get out of Jamaica. Well, at least we didn't crash the budget by your whatever you made, or whatever you just get on your fancy work. Yeah, moving right along with that, Chef. I know, moving right along. It's just my quarters, and nobody to personally bother me in there. Whatever you believe in, man, I don't blame you. But if you ever did waste your money on that, then it ain't my fault on that. Whatever. Alright then, well, time to say that we'll get right next to the break. So, anyways,